Hey everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media, and it is time once again to look at some new releases from Visual Vengeance Video, the sister label, of course, of Wild Eye Releasing. They have sent over something new that I am very excited about. I know what I'm hoping it is, but it could be one of two things because there is a new release coming out in, I don't know, as of filming in the next couple of weeks, somewhere around there. But yeah, anyway, let's get this guy open. We'll do an unboxing, talk about the packaging a little bit. I'll go watch the movie and the special features, and then I'll give you guys my thoughts on this. So let's do it. Before we do, though, if you have a second, please hit that like button down below. That engagement really does help me out. But with that said, let's not waste any more time at all. Let's unbox and review one of the latest releases from Visual Vengeance. As I'm opening this, I do just want to say a big thank you to Visual Vengeance for sending these my way. I always appreciate it. These are some of my favorite things to open every single month. And it feels like there's one in here this time as opposed to a couple, because they are slowing down the releases, it looks like. I think there's only one coming out in November. There was either 2 or 3 in October. I can't remember. But yeah, let's take a look here. All right, so I'll show these first. This is what I'm thinking is inside here, but look at these amazing Moonchild stickers. These are fantastic. I love this one especially. That's a new one. I love that sticker. All right, let me see if I can get this guy out of here. It's kind of stuck. Oh, yep, there it is. All right, there we go. Oh, heck yes. Moonchild, baby. I am so excited for this. This, of course, is spine number 7, and I have been waiting for this one to come in. I am so excited about this. The trailers for this one look amazing. There's the back of it there. Oh my god, how cool. Okay, let's get the plastic off of this guy so we can dive into it a little bit deeper and see what is on the inside. Alright, this thing, again, the trailers for this one looks like so much fun. This is probably my most anticipated Visual Vengeance release, given what I know of the company so far. So there is the slipcover. It's gorgeous. There's that. It's just the sticker art that I showed a minute ago. Gotta love that. Alright, so let's see. We have the... Oh my god, there's a bonus audio CD of the movie soundtrack. That's fantastic. I'm trying to see what the reversible cover art's going to be, because I assume there is some. Okay, reversible sleeve featuring original VHS art. So let's get this guy open. Alright, so there's the inside. We have our stickers, like we always do. Oh, okay, it looks like there's a poster in this one, which is awesome. Ooh, I love that. Okay, let me put this down for a minute. Let me get this poster opened up. So this is a film by Todd Sheets. There's that. I love these. So this is one, like, I have all of these posters except one of them didn't come in the packaging, and I told them they didn't have to worry about sending it. I don't remember which one it was, but that's the only one I'm missing. Okay, so here is our booklet with that. I think this art is just that. For me, that's it. That's awesome. I love it. All right, so here it is. Oh, it looks like it's a Kansas City horror film. An American Werewolf in Kansas City. That's awesome. Very cool to get booklets. All right, let me put that aside. Here are our discs. Alright, so which one? Oh, this is it here. So this is the CD. That's awesome. The original motion picture soundtrack. How perfect. And then, let me put this one back. Alright, so there is our disc art. Alright, let me flip the cover around here so you guys can see that. It's fantastic. I love it. Oh my god, this is so awesome. Alright, take a look at that. How wonderful is that cover art? Okay, so let me see. What do we have here? This is from 1994. Runs about 87 minutes in length, and the new director-supervised SD masters from the original tapes. So again, probably going to be the best this thing ever looks. It looks like there is an alternate original VHS cut of Moonchild on here as well. A Wolf Moon Rising documentary, behind the scenes, deleted scenes, or a deleted ending, a music video? A short film? Oh yeah, this looks fantastic. I am super excited to check this one out. Todd Sheets' Moonchild. How awesome. So let me pop this one in, give it a watch, and then I'll come back in a few minutes and give you guys my thoughts on this release. Alright, so it may be over a month later, but hey, better late than never. I have finally made my way through Moonchild, and I am excited to talk about this one. So this is not even really a werewolf movie, as you know, contrary to what the cover would have you believe. Both the original VHS cover and the newly commissioned cover art, which I think I will have the original cover art on because I love it. I always love these like weird looking 90s VHS cover arts that Visual Vengeance has. But anyway, so this really, like I said, is not a werewolf movie. This is more of a like dystopic or post-apocalyptic film in the vein of something like Mad Max. So we have our main character who is this like hybrid werewolf human thing. He doesn't know that he is though. His name is Jacob Stryker, just a fantastic name. At the beginning of the movie, he escapes from prison and makes his way to this like underground group of people and then sets out to find his son. He ends up like kind of befriending this group of people that are underground. They seem to be like the last of the remaining humans after this big plague has hit the earth. And so it, like I said, it's post-apocalyptic. And so he bands up with them. They agree that after they see him like transform into this werewolf for the first time and he takes out all these people or this one really bad guy, they decide, yeah, this is probably someone that we want to be with instead of someone that we want to go against. And so they agree to go with him to find his child, his son, who I guess like his son's blood is supposed to be the key to kind of saving humanity. At least that's what I was able to gather from this.
Might as well forget it. Forget my son. You're crazy.
And so that's what this entire thing is them traveling to find his son and rescue his son. So like I said, though it sells itself as a werewolf film, if you go into it hoping that it's going to be heavy werewolf, you're probably going to be disappointed. But as someone who absolutely loves the post-apocalyptic genre and that like dystopian setting, I had a shockingly good time with this movie. So this is an SOV horror film. And so, you know, keep that in mind. So everything I say about this, you have to judge it against its peers as opposed to something like Mad Max. But in this, there's absolutely Beyond Thunderdome inspiration on this, which is really fun. But so this is one where I think the acting does a very decent job for what it is. When you compare this to some of the other films that I've watched from Visual Vengeance, this is darn good.
Or rebels, I could take you before the dictator.
I ain't no rebel.
Are you sure?
Positive.
On that SOV level, I think they do a really good job. Our main character here is played by Augie, and he actually does a lot with Todd Sheets, who is the director from this. Did I even mention this is from 1994, directed by Todd Sheets? And actually, in one of the special features, they mentioned that this is like Todd Sheets' 16th film by this point, and this is 94. He's not an old guy. He's probably in his 20s, I would imagine, in 94. And so he has a ton of experience, and that really shows here. This feels like a more professional film than you would expect an SOV movie from 1994 to feel, with like no budget. I think IMDb listed it as like a $500 budget. In the commentary tracks, he basically says there was like no money for this. What they're able to do with the stunts, the special effects, and the story, I think, is pretty darn good, considering that all this is done on basically no budget. So let me pause a second and go back to talking about some of these stunts and these special effects. So this is a film that if you're watching it without knowing any context behind it, you might think, yeah, there's a decent amount of special effects. It's a pretty gory film, which again, that's what we get on almost all of these Visual Vengeance releases so far, which I think is fun. I enjoy that. And they do a really good job with some of the special effects here. They like build completely like fake skeleton, like fake people at points. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Dummies, I guess, where like hands come through the mouth and things like that. And they look pretty darn good. Again, for what this is, it is really impressive. But what is most impressive, whether it's this or anything else, is just the stunts that they do in this. It opens up with, like, there's this car chase that goes on. And you have our main character, Stryker, jumping back and forth between, like, the truck and this other car. And they all do their own stunts. Like, it is crazy dangerous. At one point, I think they're talking in the commentary track how fast they're going. And it's much faster than you would ever hope that anyone would be driving at these speed, doing this events through these cars at these speeds. Like, it's crazy. And then then you have a lot of fight sequences in this as well, and so there's a lot of choreography, and that is a little bit more hit or miss, but when it works is when it's down in like the dark areas where, you know, the camera is kind of hiding maybe some of the imperfections of it. But otherwise, I think it looks pretty good. These fight sequences, they choreograph them well enough to make them feel a little bit more believable than you might think. There is one deleted scene that has a fight sequence, and I understand why that scene was deleted, because it's in like the daylight, and it looks fake. It looks bad. It looks like just a group of people having fun. It looks silly. So the other fight sequences, I understand why they stayed in, because they look more genuine. And so I thought that was interesting to see that deleted scene at the end there. But, you know, there's just a lot of different stunts in this that I think are really well done. Again, it's just the size in this, the scope of this, for having no budget, is pretty remarkable, because you do have this, you know, worldwide event that has happened, and it's not just like them staying underground the entire time. Like, they go above, like they're in I believe they're in the city of Chicago, so you do get a couple like overhead shots, which honestly, like those overhead shots kind of took me out of it a bit, because they didn't feel dystopian or post-apocalyptic at all. But you get right back down to the ground level, and I think things look pretty well. They have like beat up cars, things like that, and it, you know, they talk in the special features, like one of the beat up cars is literally just our main actor's car that was recently in a car accident, but it worked really well for the movie. So I'm mightily impressed by what Todd Sheets was able to do with this with no budget back in 1994. He makes it feel bigger than it really is, and he does that by utilizing this like production company that he has like makeshift put together up, you know, by the time he's reached his 16th film. And you know, they have dolly shots and things like that, and so it just gives it a better feel than you would otherwise expect. So I did say this is like a Mad Max. There's definitely Star Wars inspiration in here. Our main character is definitely Darth Vader inspired, which I liked. Like our main bad guy, I thought that was pretty fun. And then there is, it reminded me a little bit of the movie Nemesis, which I talked about. It's behind me here somewhere. I talked about it on my channel. Let me grab it real quick. Right here, this one. I talked about this a little bit last year because I watched it for my TBW challenge. And the reason it reminds me of that a little bit is because there is this device that's implanted in our main character. So it only has like 72 hours to basically find his son and get this bomb out of him. And there's a similar device that is used in Nemesis. Now, Nemesis is very much like Terminator RoboCop, more so than Mad Max, but it reminded me of Nemesis because of that one plot device. So it was probably inspired by that, because I think Nemesis was like a 1992 release, if I'm not mistaken, which of course I'm not gonna, 92. So this came out a couple years later, so very possible that was an inspiration. But yeah, anyway, this was just like, honestly, one of my favorite films I've seen from Visual Vengeance. This was just a ton of fun. Not at all what I expected. I expected a werewolf movie, which you do get like two sequences where he does transform a little bit. The first one is kind of like halfway there. Good for them with what they're able to do. Like, it is just camera cutting and coming back and new makeup effects, cutting, coming back, new makeup effects, but it works still. Like, I think it looks really cool. But then at the end, there's this full-blown werewolf sequence that I think is just so much fun. And it's kind of just like a good payoff for what they've been teasing prior to that. And so I thought that was really fun. So I really enjoyed this one. Obviously, it's not going to be for everybody, as, you know, none of these Visual Vengeance releases are going to be for everybody. But for a shot-on-video Mad Max style film, I was all in. I had a really good time with this one. So I don't know if I've been rating these Visual Vengeance releases or not, but I did rate this one on Letterboxd. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars, which is very generous for one of these like low budget schlocky shot on video horror films. But like I said, it's probably my favorite one I've seen from Visual Vengeance. Before I touch on the AV aspects of this, which is going to be very similar to everything I say about these Visual Vengeance releases, but I want to talk Todd Sheets a little bit because his story is very interesting to me. The man has over 50 IMDb director credits right now, which is nuts. And he does have a couple, at least 2 that I know of, releases from the Visual Vengeance sister line, Wild Eye, releasing. And one of them is High 8, which is like a anthology film. He's the director in one of those. But there's another trailer on here that I'm forgetting the name of, something Road, maybe? It's a werewolf movie, but yeah, so that's available from him as well, from Wild Eye. But what's really cool is that he also directed a movie called Clown-nado, which is just amazing. Obviously a take on Sharknado mixed with the clown craze from a few years ago. Like, that's just awesome. So I just admire what Sheets is able to do all the way back in 1994, and then he's just built this career out of these low budget horror films. I mean, good for him. Like, what an awesome life to live. That's just so cool. So he's just a very admirable admirable guy. I think that's awesome. But anyway, let's talk about the audio and visual side of this. As always, they give you that disclaimer at the beginning that says, hey, this is the best that was available, and honestly, this looks pretty darn good. Yes, it is a little bit darker than it probably should be, but I mean, you're dealing with lighting situations where it's makeshift lighting most of the time, but the audio side I thought sounded really good. To compare it to something else on this disc, there's a short film in the special features where the audio is just terrible. You could barely hear it, but in the actual feature, it is really well done. I was never, I didn't miss any of the dialogue at all. It sounded totally fine. The music in this is great as well. It is this like metal soundtrack that they have, which is probably why there is that CD in here as well. But like just that soundtrack I think is so much fun. There is a song in there that I swear on my life is from a video game, but I can't figure out which one. I can't place it, and it's probably not, but it just gives me that, like, it really feels like something I've heard before from a video game. So the soundtrack on this is awesome. The music is done really well. And so I think that mixes really well with the dialogue. And then on the visual side of things, I was able to make out what was going on. There were definitely sequences where it was too dark, as I mentioned, but otherwise, like, honestly, it looks totally fine, especially for a shot on video film. You're not going to find much better than this. And so I think they, Visual Vendors did a really good job remastering what was available to them. So kudos to them on the AV presentation here. Real quickly, let's touch on the special features. Pretty loaded disc, as you normally get from Visual Vengeance. So first and foremost, there is the original VHS cut of the film that's available on here. Now, it looks like it's only about 2.5 minutes or so longer than the original, or than the main cut that's on here. And I think the difference is, because I didn't go through and watch the entirety of the VHS cut. I'm going to guess that the difference is that deleted scene that I touched on earlier. It is a deleted ending, basically. And I'm guessing that's tacked on to the VHS release of this, because if you look at the time of that deleted scene, it's about 2 minutes, 14 seconds. That's pretty much the exact difference in length between the main cut and that VHS cut. So I'm guessing that's the only difference between the two. And then on top of that, you do get 2 audio commentary tracks. There is one, both of them have Todd Sheets. One of them is with one of the people from Visual Vengeance. The other one, though, is with our main actor, Augie. And I really liked that commentary track. I listened to more than I typically would on that because I was enjoying what they were talking about. Todd Sheets is known for shooting all of his films in Kansas City. And so just hearing them kind of reminisce about the filming itself and the different stunts and things like that in specifically the areas that they were in like the kind of the slums of Kansas City, I thought was really fun. So I really like that commentary track. And then there is a making of featurette that's about 30 minutes long. And this was actually one that was done while they were filming, because you have the cast interviews and things like that from 1994. So that was pretty cool if you're into those. There is what else is on here? Archival behind the scenes cast interviews. That's just literally them in one of I think it was probably where they filmed the last sequence in that building, just talking about the making of the movie and how it compares to other films they've done with Todd Sheets, because from what I can tell, Todd Sheets pretty much takes these same actors and does a whole bunch of movies with them, at least like his main characters. And so they're just talking about how this compares to some of the other ones. There is a music video on here. It's a metal band's music video. The name of the band is Dissension, and I'm 99% sure that the main singer in the band was Todd Sheets. Maybe I'm wrong, but he sure looked like it. They're all wearing like Kiss face paint though, so maybe I'm wrong. There's the original VHS trailer, and then there was the short film that I mentioned called Sanguinary Desires. This one was, it's from 1988. It's about a 13-minute short film. It's fine. Like, it is what it's very much just like a gore hound thing. So they were just probably doing it to like see what kind of special effects and how gross they could be. I don't even know if it's really worth watching, to be honest with you, but is what it is. Oh, Bone Hill Road. That's the name of the other trailer that's on here. That's from Wild Eye Releasing, directed by Todd Sheets. Bone Hill Road. So that trailer is on here as well. So yeah, like I said, very quality special features. I wish there was a new behind the scenes thing, or like a new director interview, just because I wanted to like see where he's at now and kind of have him talk about his film life between then and now. But unfortunately we don't get that, but you do have those commentary tracks, so those are done pretty well as well. But yeah, so that's the special features on here. I had a really good time watching these ones. So Moonchild is one of my favorite releases from Visual Vengeance. If you only are going to get one from them, this is a wonderful representation of everything that's good about what Visual Vengeance is doing. Moonchild is a blast of a film if you like this style of movie and can deal with that low budget aspects of it. But if you can, definitely check this one out because I had a really good time with it. The AV is totally fine and the special features are pretty darn good. So overall, I'm going to give the Moonchild release from Visual Vengeance 4 out of 5 stars. All right, so those were my thoughts on Moonchild. I had such a blast with this one and I can't wait to see what's coming next. And spoiler alert, I already know what's coming next. Look for my review of Heartland of Darkness coming soon to a Cinefessions YouTube channel near you. Cannot wait to check that one out and give my thoughts. That is spine number 8 because Moonchild, of course, was spine number 7. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what else they have in store for us. I should also mention one of the trailers before this, like right when you put the Blu-ray in, is another Todd Sheets film that I am hoping gets the physical release from Visual Vengeance because it looks like a ton of fun. So I'm just excited about the future of this company in 2023. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this one. Have you ever seen this movie? I know it does have a cult following behind it. So let me know if you're planning on picking this one up now, or if you already did, what did you think of it? Because this one came out now a little while ago because I was a little behind on my review of it. But yeah, definitely worth checking out if you're into this style of movie. But that is it for today, guys. So if you enjoyed this one, please hit that like button down below. That engagement really does help me out. And like I always say, I don't just talk movies, I talk all things media. Books, movies, video games, graphic novels, vinyl, manga. If it's media related, I'm interested in it. And if you are too, you might consider subscribing. All right, guys. So that is going to do it for today. I just want to say thank you all so much for checking this one out. And I want to encourage you to consume some media today in this brand new year. Thanks again for watching. I will catch you all next time.